For the fire to fall on your congregation, pastor, it must fall on you. You must know the pain-filled fellowship of the pierced hand. You must know what it means to weep in the secret place. Remember there in Joel, that wonderful advice that was given? He said there, let the priests, the ministers of the Lord, weep between the porch and the altar, and let them say, spare thy people, O Lord, and give not thine heritage to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. Wherefore should they say among the people, where is their God? So let the ministers and let the priests weep between the porch and the altar. They weren't weeping in the presence of the heathen. They weren't weeping in the presence of the nation of Israel. They were weeping in the presence of their own people, the priests, the ministers. Let them weep. Let them bear the burden. Let them say, Lord, don't let the heathen cast thy name out. My dear friends, that kind of burden, we heard about it this morning, that kind of burden is absolutely essential. There's a spiritual price. We cannot afford to have ordinary meetings. We cannot depend upon our ability or our charm or our theology or our training or our oratory or our human ability or our rapport with people or people's respect. We cannot afford to depend upon our theological training or our good library or our keen mind. Cannot afford to stand upon those things, because those things are not going to break a person's heart. You can make it's easy to preach a sermon today. You just if you've got a good library and you're well trained, you're just going to pull out a few books and work out a sermon in an hour or two, and you've got something to say to the people because you're theologically trained. You know much better, more than they do. It's easy to present material. And you're a blessing. Of course you're a blessing. You're giving them material that they don't know anything about. You know far more than they do. It's easy to preach. But that's not a message from God. God wants to speak to the people. Remember that word in the Old Testament where he said, where is there not a word from the Lord? And that's what we need to have. A word from the Lord. A word which enters into their hearts. And for that to happen, you will have to break. That's the price. That's the spiritual price.